XTC Mummer, right now on States and Kingdoms.
XTC
This is an interesting album.
is actually a really interesting album.
This is really
No, this is really interesting. What'd you say?
I always really liked Mummer.
I always really liked Mummer.
I always liked it a lot from the moment I heard it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I listened to this after, I'm trying to think of the trajectory that I took with my XTC. I think I listened to this after Apple Venus. I went to Mummer.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't remember anything. Never mind.
The past. Who needs it? I know. So after English Settlement, which is it's a very impressive album.
It's 20
hours.
Discs.
Oh.
It's a 20 disc album.
It's it's really it's an extraordinary album. So after they decide stop touring, and they start working on this, Terry Chambers leaves.
Yeah.
During the production.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure when, but during the production.
A 3-piece plus a drum machine.
Necessarily changes the sound. Terry Chambers is a great drummer.
Yeah, you can hear it instantly. Those early albums.
Yeah, there's a great,
really awesome
driving
groove and
great grooves in the songs.
Adds so much.
So it's not that that's missing, but it's different, and it's just an interesting album because using the word pastoral for English groups is so overdone.
Yeah. It's so pastoral, say.
But this album often does sound like it was recorded in the open air. There is a almost pagan sound, like a...
Well, it does.
In the,
yeah, there's like that dirge,
fields. Yeah.
dirgey...
And
Stonehenge.
It's not an accident. So it's an interesting record. It's not in any way light years away from English Settlement, but it's so focused. It's not a long album. 10 songs, and it's very focused.
Song number one. Beating of Hearts. This song and this whole album really has this earthiness to it for me. Like, it just feels earthy and heavy, and there's a lot of talk about alchemy and like feels like magic and like bodies and there's like a lot of that sort of thing. But no, there's this like really like elemental basic thing happening throughout. And yeah, this song just really, really sets the tone. Wonderland.
Yeah.
So this is a beautiful Colin song. I love this song. Mm-hmm. I think it's got a real softness to it, and it's like, like the music twinkles. It's just very soft and pretty and lovely melody.
It goes without saying that this could have been a more successful album, and could even
and who knows why not
have a wider audience now. I mean, XTC in general.
Sure.
But I'm not sure why this wasn't. I don't know why this wasn't a bigger hit.
Yeah, I always loved this song.
It's got a great sound. It's definitely, this album is definitely less guitar driven. I mean, that's clear. But I don't know. Maybe it just resists fitting into anything, really.
That's true.
I suppose.
It's yeah. You really it's hard enough right now just even talking about it using words that are understandable.
But when you hear the songs, you don't need to. No. These are just flat out just good songs.
Oh yeah, they'll just go right in your ears where they're supposed to. Love on a Farm Boy's Wages.
Yeah. Also incredibly catchy. And this is why
very catchy.
I don't want to say the word pastoral too much, but
he's a farm boy.
It's pastoral.
No, this is one of those Andy songs.
Bucolic.
If you will. It is bucolic. Good one. It's one of those Andy songs that's like, it has that narrative. It's kind of, like, who's he singing about? I was saying that
too. Andy and Colin are both really good lyricists.
Yeah.
They really are. They're able to write about, writing a sometimes metaphorical, sometimes not so metaphorical. I'm thinking about Pink Thing. But so that just very interesting lyrics. They always keep you interested.
Yeah, the song is
Really
like
do.
it's like Wouldn't It Be Nice?
Mm-hmm.
It's got that quality of like, thinking about the future and planning and being in love and wanting to have something. And in this case, he doesn't make a lot of money, but he refuses to tour. I think musically the song is really interesting though, because I think you hear the lyrics and you think, oh, this is just a simple song, like an old-fashioned story about something. But the music is actually much more complex, and the song kind of goes in places you wouldn't really expect it to.
Yeah,
and
it does.
it keeps
Surprises you a
it
little
very, very interesting, and yeah, it's really great. And like you said, super catchy.
Mm-hmm.
Great fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple story about a really bad fire on the Ark. And what do those animals do? They panic. That's just the first few words.
It's a great melody.
The rhythm is really cool.
Mm-hmm. This song sounds a little bit more, I guess, like something from one of the previous albums, more so than the first three, whatever we've talked about so far.
Yeah, whatever. Again, it's like very dynamic, and there's just moments, and I mean, this goes for so many of the songs, but there's moments where the chorus just shifts and it slows down. It's like going a little faster, and then tempo slows down again, and like the words just kind of stretch out. It's just really pretty. Like I just love how Andy in particular can do that on so many songs. Just like he just like does something unexpected and really beautiful. And
in a way, this is XTC really finding its sort of like studio legs.
Yeah, you could say that.
And I mean, really, because it is a really good sounding album. It's another thing that sounds better on vinyl.
Yes.
I mean, this is an original American release, but the CD the one that I heard and sounds fine, but I think the vinyl sounds better.
Yeah, it does.
More immediate, a little bit less.
Yeah, it's a little more.
A little less brightness.
Yeah, a little more bassy, and which fits the earthiness.
Yeah, that it's a fairly complex album, but it sounds really very good. So yeah, on songs like this, yeah, there's a great dynamic there. It's just a really driving song. It's a cool song.
Deliver Us from the Elements.
Well, Colin's songs on this are actually really great.
They are. They always are.
They are. I know. Of course. I mean, there's more than just one songwriter in this band. I mean, I mean, everyone knows that. But yeah, his songs are really important to this album, because honestly, without them,
it's just a lot of like Andy yodeling.
No, really, you wouldn't have. His songs are very catchy, and this is a cool kind of tribalish song.
Yes. Yeah, it's got a really unique sound.
Mm-hmm. It's unusual for him, at least around that time.
Yeah, but it sounds like the rest of this album.
It does. And that's the thing. It's so funny how close their songwriting was at this time, because that really did diverge more and more, over time, until, obviously, I mean, a long time after this, but by Wasp Star, it's like two totally different songwriters.
Yeah.
They're just very different. It sounds like two different bands.
Yeah.
On that album.
It's like two different Collins.
Well, I mean, he sounds different.
He sounds very different. Yeah. Human Alchemy.
Human Alchemy starts side 2.
Right.
And this is way pagany to me.
There's a lot of chanting.
I know it's not necessarily about that, but it just sounds like that to me.
It's real chanty.
Andy as Druid. I really like songs like this. I like the verses and the way he sings it. I just think it's such a moody song.
Yeah, because like no matter how weird they get, it's always gonna have a wonderful melody, and the song structure is always there doing its interesting stuff.
Right.
It's always
Yeah, of
going to
course.
be something amazing to listen to, even if they're getting kind of weird. Ladybird.
Ladybird.
So Ladybird was the song.
Sorry, Lady Burr.
Ladybird.
I remember.
Ladybird. This was the song on the album that really grabbed me immediately. And I loved it to death. I just love this song. I still do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gorgeous. It's got like a little bit of a jazzy thing, like with the the bass, and I don't know. It's just I love it. I think the melody is gorgeous. I don't care what he's singing about. I don't know. I just I just think it's the most beautiful song.
Mm-hmm.
Everything about it I like.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's definitely, to me, it is one of the few Beatle-y XTC songs, because I really don't feel like they are very often.
Yeah.
And that goes for Skylarking, Orange Lemons, Non-Such, and until you get to Apple Venus, and then it's like, yeah, of course, yeah. But it's the bass line in particular is just it's got some real McCartney-ish stuff going on. And I do care what he's singing about. Something about LBJ. Something about LBJ, I think.
That's enough.
Let's move on.
In Loving Memory of a Name. Another really, really great Colin song. It just has like that like really nice driving rhythm. Really just propels itself forward and catchy.
I'm just so impressed with Colin's songwriting. Anyway, just
no, it's
I
exceptional.
don't even know what to say. I mean,
we've said this before though.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if he weren't in the band with Andy Partridge, he's the second songwriter.
Yeah.
And so being compared to something so brilliant, but on his own, and next to Andy's songs, these are awesome songs.
Yeah,
they're so good.
By comparison, they're
and
just
I mean,
as
of course,
good.
a handful of them were like the most popular XTC songs ever. And he doesn't have the same like mythical thing that Andy has.
No, he's not. Well, I mean,
like Andy Partridge is a real character.
Yeah.
And Colin just seems like the normal guy that's just like happens to be so good at writing songs. Like he doesn't even work at it. Me and the Wind. I really like this song.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's I guess it's quirky. It's got
it's no quirkier than the rest of the album.
No, I guess not. It's got a really interesting sound though.
We talked about this before, because this song, it's just very, very basic. There's a wailing, not wailing. I don't mean like wailing. He's like harpooning, but there is a kind of primal quality to some of the songs on this album, and this one as well. And we talked about something that Todd Rundgren said about like he was a fan, but he'd heard some of their more recent albums, which could only really be
this and
the Big Express, and they were very busy, or the production wasn't what he felt it should be.
This album always felt very simple.
I don't see that. I mean, Big Express
sparse to me,
but this album, I don't see that at all. And this album sounds fantastic. The production on this album, it matches the songs.
Yeah.
And it's really, it's a pretty cohesive set of songs.
Yeah, and I mean,
I don't know why I just did that.
It's monumental. There's like this song in particular, it's got these like flourishes, and a lot of the other songs have these like little flourishes of a sound, a little like fluty thing over here, but it never feels busy or really like overdone. It's just like, I don't know. It does feel like you said primal. I said elemental before. A lot of these songs just feel like running through the forest. Like maybe it's dangerous. Maybe something. Like I don't know.
You might meet a satyr called Andy.
There's just this. This song is about, the wind. Andy and the wind are working together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just really interesting. So the last song is Funk Papa Roll,
which is the most incongruous song on the album.
So on the CD, it's got, I think, 50 extra songs.
Yeah.
So I first listened to this, not thinking that Funk Papa Roll was the last song. I just kept going, and some of those songs I actually really really like too.
Well, at least one or two of them were B-sides, weren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Funk Papa Roll is, I guess, a little more straightforward of a song. It doesn't have that like earthy thing going on.
It still works though, because it's almost like a commentary on
What you just heard.
Yeah, everything else that just went on, without drawing attention to that necessarily, because it's just a very straightforward.
Yeah, I never listened to this
XTC
thinking
song.
like, oh, this song is an outlier. Why is it doesn't fit? Like I never thought that didn't fit.
No, it doesn't. It's not. No, it's not that incongruous.
It sounds more. I could hear that on the Big Express. I feel like
these two albums are not that far apart.
They're not, but
but there's definitely they
Funk
both
Pop
have their
Roll
own
could
qualities.
definitely go to the next one. No problem.
Really, XTC in the '80s were the greatest band like in the
of
world
all time.
I mean, you can't beat. They're from '80, the Black Sea, to Oranges and Lemons in '89. I mean, you can't beat them. In the mid '80s, they were so prolific.
They were on fire.
It's mind-boggling, really.
It's disgusting.
83, 84, 85, 86, 87.
88, 89.
No.
90, 91. Are we just counting?
No, we're done. I mean, this was the beginning of a new phase for XTC. The one that basically they rode until they...
The funny hat phase?
I'm sure you really appreciate that.
Thank you so much for watching our discussion of Mummer. Please let us know in the comments what you think about this album and XTC. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos here at States and Kingdoms every Wednesday and Friday. Have a wonderful weekend and we'll see you next time.